Welcome everybody to our officially first double-digit episode 10, baby. Episode 10.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Crazy to think we're already 10 episodes in.
I know, it's insane.
Feels like honestly we just started this. I
I
mean,
know.
10 is
I
still
feel like
not a
it's
lot,
been
but
so long ago. Like I lost all my hair.
yeah, I mean, listen, it's been a stressful time. It's been a stressful time. But yeah, episode 10. All right, last week we started off with the wide receiver rankings. We did number 30 to 16 for both of us. And today we finished that off. Our part 2, our number 15 to our number one. So you know what? Let's just get straight into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. How you doing today, Mr. Clean?
I'm doing good. A little tired, but good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, bro. Listen, there's some people that might not know why you suddenly decided to change your hairstyle, but just in case, do you want to let them know what's going on?
Yeah. So today I officially started the police academy. So in order for me, one of the requirements for me to do it is they require us to shave our heads bald, shave our beards. So yeah, I'm gonna be like this for the next 6 months.
And that is one of the main reasons why I will never become a cop. I can't imagine myself doing that. Listen, right now,
imagine. And this is my third academy. So
Listen,
this is the third time I've had to do this. Yeah.
So I mean, listen, at least you have the experience then. But like
Right,
me,
yeah.
for example, like look, I got a haircut 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, right now, I'm like, damn, my hair's long. So imagine.
I mean, hey, I'm gonna save money with haircuts. That's 6
true.
months. I don't got
That's just simple.
you know.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep.
That is true. Damn, you know what? That's right. That's smart. And you're gonna listen, it's summertime. You don't have to worry about it getting hotter. So
yeah.
Listen, there's pros, there's cons, just like anything in life. But listen, last week we did number 30 to 16, right? And it's fair to say we had a couple shocks on both ends. Okay.
Yeah.
I shocked you a few times. You shocked me plenty times. Okay. But let's see what 15 to 1 has in store. I want to think that we won't have that many shocks.
I think these top 15 we're probably gonna have 10 of the same names.
I agree.
Possibly. I mean, there's a good possibility that our top 10 could be the same.
It could be the same. I don't know about position as always. Obviously, that's opinion based, but names wise, in a way, I feel like some of them are just so obvious. I would say, I think maybe our top 7 for sure. Top 10, I can see that too. Yeah. But there's only one way to find out. And the only way we could find out is by starting these rankings off. So, Mr. J, would you do us the honor of starting us with your 15 to number 11?
So at number 15, this is somebody that you had in last week's episode.
Okay.
So this is probably going to be a good question for the audience to see who got this one right, if you or me. So at number 15, I got Mike Williams. Okay. So I think last season was amazing for him, right? Yeah. It was pretty much like a revelation. Yeah. So last season he was wide receiver 12. He had probably the first time that he's been fully healthy. Right. Yep. He played 16 games. Okay. Out of those 16 games, he had 129 targets, 76 of which were receptions, and 1,146 yards to go with those receptions, which is amazing for him. That's somebody who's phenomenal. So injury prone. That's fantastic. Right. And he had 9 touchdowns, which is amazing. Right. Yep. Now, I do have him at 15, right? Regressing a little bit, just 3 spots. Because there's a possibility. I mean, in 2020 and 2019, he wasn't fully healthy, right? Yep. He missed a couple games. And even though he played in these games, he would leave the games early, right? So I feel like there's no way he goes 2 seasons in a row being healthy. Sadly, I really hope that I'm wrong, but I feel like, history speaks for itself. And it's like, I don't see it happening. So I do see him getting less targets because I just feel like Allen is going to be getting looked at more. I feel like Allen is going to be at a different level with Herbert. I do see kind of like the same touchdown range just because he's a big body. They're always going to look at him at the end zone. And the toughness of schedule is pretty average. It's 3 out of 5 stars. So it's not that bad. Just the reason I have him at 15 is just because, there's always that possibility of getting injured. And so I feel like it could happen. So I'm just being a little bit cautious with him, but I still think that with the production that he'll have, even if he gets injured 2-3 games, will still be good enough for him to be at 15. So that's why I have him at 15. Now at 14, this is somebody that I know you're gonna say he's super high. I know a lot of people are gonna say he's super high, but I am confident that this is gonna be his year. Okay. He has a new quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
This quarterback every single season has made one of his wide receivers top 15. Okay.
Sometimes both of them.
Sometimes both of them. Okay. I feel like this player is going to be that wide receiver. Okay. So now my number 14 is Jerry Jeudy. Last season he was wide receiver 85, but then again, he didn't have nobody, he didn't have no Russ as quarterback. Russ is a completely different ball game. He improves the wide receivers by a lot. He played 10 games last season, 56 targets, not that much, 38 receptions, 467 touchdowns. I'm sorry. Whoa.
That would have been insane. 467 touchdowns,
467 yards, and zero touchdowns. And that was with Lock. I feel
Lock
like
and Bridgewater. They were
Lock and Bridgewater. That is going to change. Like, it's going to be a full 180 with Russ there. I think he's going to be the number one wide receiver. Yeah, you got Sutton. Yeah, you got Tim Patrick. But I think Jeudy's going to be the guy. All right. In 2020 with Lock, he played 16 games. He had 113 targets, 52 receptions, 856 yards, 3 touchdowns. 1,536 were air yards. That means they look at him deep.
Yeah.
All right. And what has Russ been begging for? To go deep, right? He wants to release that. And he had that with DK Metcalf.
Yep.
And it worked great. It worked great. So he has that deep threat in Jerry Jeudy. Okay. So with Russ, I see him having like a season like around what he had in 2020, but better. I see him having over 8 touchdowns. And, like I said earlier, just like that fun little stat, Russ has had a top 15 wide receiver every single one of his seasons. And I feel like Jerry Jeudy is going to be that guy. So he's going to improve a lot from last season wide receiver 85 to breaking into the top 15. And I will stand by that. Come at me. Anybody.
I have him. I'm looking at my list. I had him at 27.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a lot, but
the schedule, the toughness of the schedule, it's easy. 4 out of 5 starts. So everything is working in his favor. This is going to be his season. It will be his season. So moving on to number 13, I have a guy that I loved last season. Super consistent, but he's going to dip a bit just because he has a stud wide receiver coming into his team. All right. I have Renfrow at number 13. Yes, he was.
Damn.
Last season, he was wide receiver 10. So, not that far off. I'm moving him down 3 spots, to 13. So he played 17 games, 128 targets, 103 receptions. So Jesus. The man pretty much, he catches everything pretty much.
Sure hands, baby.
1,038 yards and 9 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He had an amazing season. Obviously him being the number 1 wide receiver there.
Yeah. Okay. It was his breakout year.
Exactly. I do see a slight regression in touchdowns just because, obviously Devontae Adams is going to be there. So he's going to be the main focus in the red zone. Not just him, but obviously Water as well.
A healthy Darren
Waller, yeah. But Renfrow is an extremely consistent guy. I see the offense very well balanced. And the toughness of the schedule is 2 out of 5 stars. So that could favor him a little bit. Just to stay in the 15, just because, they're going to want to focus mainly on Adams, that Renfrow might still be able to open up, and be able to run a little bit more freely. So that's why I was able to, just slightly change his ranking. So at number 12, I have somebody that may be the first shock, but now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like you might have him in the same spot. I don't know why I just got that feeling. I swear. McLaurin.
Scary Terry.
Yeah. All right. So he has an easy schedule. Okay. So that's 1 check right there. Yeah. I feel like last season, he's upgrading in quarterback in Wentz. Yeah. I'm not gonna say Wentz is a fantastic quarterback, but I like Wentz. I think he's a good quarterback. I like the way he moves. His vision could be a little bit better, the way he looks down the field, but I think he's not bad. Okay. Wentz with Pittman, he made Pittman last year with 17 games. He was the wide receiver 17.
Yeah.
Okay. I think McLaurin is better than Pittman.
I agree.
That's just me. All right. Pittman had 129 targets, 88 reception, 1,082 yards, 6 touchdowns. All right. I think Terry will be able to surpass the yardages. I think he might get 1,200. And I think he surpasses the touchdowns maybe a little bit closer to like 9, 10. All right. Okay. That's just me. Just because he is the clear option over there, right? Yeah. The clear option. And Wentz likes to lock on when he knows he has somebody like a really good wide receiver. He likes to lock on there. All right. Yep. He had Ertz, his best wide receiver. Well, even though he wasn't a wide receiver, but his best target, Ertz, boom. It was on the Ertz. Yeah. You have Pittman there, boom. He was throwing only to Pittman. Now you got McLaurin, which is super fast. This man does not drop a ball. He's amazing. That's gonna be his guy. All right. So I see that happening. I do see, like I said, I see higher yardages, higher touchdown than what Pittman did last season. And like I said, he was wide receiver 17. So I think at 12, I think that's a nice, like a perfect position for him.
Yeah.
And to finish off with number 11, I have AJ Brown. Okay. Now, him moving to the Eagles, I think improves his numbers a lot. Not just him, but Hurts as well. Mm-hmm. Last season, he was wide receiver 32. He only played 13 games, right? He had 105 targets, 63 receptions, 869 yards, and 5 touchdowns. All right. Hurts is in a prime spot right now with finally with the top wide receiver. Like, yeah, we know he can move, we know he could extend plays, but who is he going to throw to? Right. He finally has that in a really, really, really good wide receiver in AJ Brown. I feel like they're going to have amazing chemistry, and I see all those numbers going up. And they have an easy schedule.
Yeah.
4 out of 5 stars, easy schedule. So I feel like they're both in a prime spot to really improve and really showcase what they got. And honestly, Hurts, this might be the last year for him as a starting quarterback in Philly. Like, if he doesn't succeed here with a top wide receiver, he might be done. He might be done. So it might be smart of Hurts to be like, you know what? I got a top wide receiver. Let me utilize this guy. So that's why I have him at number 11. And let's see, man. Let's see.
Listen, I'll tell you this. Out of all of those, I would say the biggest shock to me, and it's not a shock because of who he is. It's just because I don't have him ranked, is Hunter Renfrow. He's a
you don't got Renfrow ranked?
No, because he's a phenomenal player. Don't get me wrong. And like
You're
you said,
out of your mind.
Like you said last year, wide receiver 10. But last year he had no competition. Now you're adding a healthy Darren Waller. And arguably the best wide receiver in the league, who already has a connection with the quarterback. If it was like, somebody that Derek Carr doesn't really know, I'd be like, you know what? Well, he's still going to go to safety blanket and Renfrow. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Renfrow's going to fall off the face of the earth. I think Renfrow's like top 35, definitely top 40. Just 13 for me, a little too high. If he's there, phenomenal. Because I love what you said at the beginning. He's so underrated. He's one of the most underrated players in this league. And he finally broke out last year, and I hope it continues. But like I said, just Darren Waller healthy and Devontae Adams there, it's looking hard for me.
I don't know. The way I see it is healthy Waller.
Mm-hmm.
You got Adams in there.
Mm-hmm.
That means your offense is going to stay more on the field. You're going to get more first downs. You're going to be on the field more, which means what? More opportunities, not just for Adams and Waller, but for Renfrow as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These tougher defenses, they're going to be focused mainly on Adams, which means what? If the offense is more on the field, you're going to be able to get more looks to who? The guy that you already know you can rely on. Yeah, I got Adams, my new shiny toy. But if I can't go for him, I already know for sure that I got 2 other guys that I can rely on. Heavy. You know what I mean? So, and again, they have a tough schedule. So, they might cover Adams a little bit more. So I feel like Renfrow will be able to benefit from that.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp 2.0. So
yeah.
But yeah, let's just move on. I'll start us off with my list.
Yeah.
At number 15, Michael Pittman. Okay.
Really?
I think you had him a little lower. I know you had him in your 30 to 16, just a little lower.
I think he was like 17 or 18.
I think it was like 17. Yeah. I have him at 15 just because I think he upgraded in quarterback in terms of pure like arm talent. Like Carson Wentz, like you said, I agree. I don't think he's bad, but I also don't think he's like phenomenal. You know, I think he's okay. And the stats you just put out for Michael Pittman, you know, really, really good numbers. You know, just to go back on them real quick: 17 games, 129 targets, 88 catches, 1,082 yards, 6 touchdowns. Great, great, great numbers. Now you guys a quarterback who, yes, is older, definitely can't move as much as Carson Wentz. Heck, can barely move, to be fair, like out of the pocket. But you have one of the best O-lines in Indianapolis, if not the best. You have one of the best defenses, which, going back to what you just said about the Raiders, means more chances for Matt Ryan and that offense. Matt Ryan knows Pittman is the guy. Yes, the main focus is Jonathan Taylor. We know that. We all know that.
Yeah.
But you don't think defenses are going to be like, well, let's try to make sure Matt Ryan beats us, not Jonathan Taylor.
Right.
You know, Jonathan Taylor's still going to do his thing because he's talented. But they're going to make sure, all right, this kid is now rushing 30 times for almost 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to try to slow him down. And that's where Pittman comes into play. So I think Pittman, the 129 targets, it could stay around there, maybe push up to like 140, 88 receptions. I think he gets 100 receptions, to be honest. I really do.
Really?
I really do.
Okay.
The yards, 1,082. I think he pushes 1,100 or more. The 6 touchdowns is the one where I'm like, it could probably stay around that same. Yeah, it could stay around the same ballpark because I feel like unless it's like, you know, 20, 30 yard pass, I feel like if they're in the red zone, Jonathan Taylor time. You know what I mean? But yeah, Michael Pittman there. I expect big things from him. Like you said, the schedule, not that hard. Okay? Yeah. It's a pretty decent schedule. And I just don't see anybody there competing with him. I think he's the clear number one. He's a very good route runner, very good hands, very good size. So I like him. I like him there at 15.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
At 14, I feel like this is it's funny because you had Jerry Jeudy at 14 where I said it was too high. I think the guy I'm about to give you is too high for you. DJ Moore. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No way.
I knew it.
No way.
Listen, DJ Moore.
No way.
With Sam Darnold at quarterback last season, 17 games, 162 targets, 93 catches, 1,157 yards.
Yeah.
Touchdowns. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield, again, to me, is he a generational franchise-saving quarterback? No. Is he better than Sam Darnold? Absolutely. Okay. Now,
fair enough. Yeah.
I know CMC is there. He's still there. And CMC, just like Jonathan Taylor, is the number one option. Heck, maybe the number 2 option. But when you have a player as talented as DJ Moore, when you have an offense that knows that, okay, CMC for the past 2 seasons has been hurt because they just do so much for him. Like, I remember the season where he had 1,000 rushing yards. Well, obviously more than that, but 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards. And everybody's like, oh my God, phenomenal. Yeah, that was a great season, but now he's paying the consequences. Like, your body's not going to hold that up. So yes, I think he's still the number 1 option. Like I said, maybe even the number 2 option, but they have to become a more balanced offense. Yeah. And I think that's what they're trying to do. Okay. And I do think DJ Moore does just enough to be wide receiver 14. I mean, last season, again, Sam Darnold quarterback, he was wide receiver 18. So I'm only pushing him over 4 spots because I think his quarterback play has elevated that tiny bit more. Not enough to make him in the top 10, but enough to push him into the top 15, in my opinion. I think Baker is good enough. I know what you said last episode about, when Baker had OBJ, when Baker had Jarvis Landry, he still didn't really care about it. Yeah, but you got to keep in mind that's the system as well. Like that the Browns offense was literally run, and sometimes pass. So
all right, okay. So you don't think that Carolina, knowing that they got a new quarterback who still needs to get acclimated to the system, isn't going to run heavy with CMC?
No, I don't think they're going to be run heavy. I think run first. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Run first. Sure. Run heavy. They could do it. Sure. They could go for it, but CMC will end up getting hurt again. And then they'll end up in a position where they're like, well, we lost CMC for the year again. Like, you paid CMC all this money.
Yeah.
2 years in a row, he's been basically out. He hasn't really played much. You gotta get him back up there slowly. It's kind of what we're saying about Saquon. Saquon, his rookie was insane. Second year, looked like he was gonna go crazy. Yeah. Got hurt. Third year, look what happened. Now we're like, all right, well, do we go make him a bell cow again, or do we slowly work our way up? So I don't know. CMC, generational talent, best player by far in that roster, but you don't want to lose him. You don't lose him, especially that early. So I got him at 14. At 13, I have somebody who by 1 is off of yours. Scary Terry. That's my guy. That's my guy. I love him.
Fair enough.
I love him to death.
You do love him.
You know how it is, bro. I think ever since he's come into the league, I've somehow had him in my team every season.
Every season.
I just love the guy. He's so good. I hate that he plays for Washington, but he's so good. He's so good. Last season, wide receiver 25 with Tyler Heineke at quarterback. Who, no disrespect to Tyler Heineke, I actually think he's serviceable. Like, he was not bad.
He had a good season. I mean, he wasn't bad.
But listen, to your point, I'll take Carson Wentz over Heineke any day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Wentz, like I said, do I think he's an amazing player? No, I see him like Baker. He's not generational. He is not a phenomenal, like, that's, I'm gonna build my franchise around him. No.
Yeah.
But he is definitely an upgrade from what they had. Baker's an upgrade from Sam. Now Carson Wentz is an upgrade for Tyler Heineke, right? And the good thing is Tyler Heineke's still there. So God forbid Carson Wentz gets hurt, Tyler Heineke get back in there, and they already have the chemistry. He did good last season. So, I think Scary Terry's in a very, very good place.
Yeah, I agree.
Listen, rookie year, just off yardage only, right? Rookie year, 919 yards, almost 1,000 with 7 touchdowns. 2020, 1,118 yards with only 4 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Last season, I know you said it already, but just a quick recap: all 17 games, 131 targets, 77 catches, 1,053 receiving yards, but 1,656 air yards.
That's insane.
That's ridiculous. Okay. And 5 touchdowns. Okay. Now you got a man who's more accurate, not incredibly accurate, but more accurate than Tyler Heineke. You got a player, like you said, that could be mobile if he needs to extend the play.
Yep. And you know what that means, right? If you can extend the play, that gives you more chance. That gives Scary Terry more opportunities to go deep.
Scary Terry can get
open.
And
Wentz could throw.
Yeah, Scary Terry can get open in 3 seconds. But if you give him an extra 2 seconds, it's a touchdown. Yeah. You know what I mean? Scary Terry's that good. I think the biggest issue with him, which thankfully he was good with it last season, is obviously the injuries. In 2019, he only played 14 games. 2020, 15 games. Last season, all 17. So hopefully he stays healthy. If he does, I do think he breaks into the top 15, maybe top 10. It's a possibility. It's definitely hard, but it's a possibility. And yeah, I just love the guy. His schedule is not that hard at all. It's probably one of the most favorable schedules in the league. So, I'm rooting for him, even though he plays for Washington. I'm rooting for him. And if he ever wants to leave, I know he just signed a contract, but if he ever wants to leave, you're welcome in New York any day. You know what I'm saying?
That would be awesome.
Number 12, another player that you had too low for me, and obviously I assume for me it'll be too high for you.
Okay.
But there's just no shot. There is no shot this man does not break top 15. T. Higgins.
Nah.
Listen, I know what you're thinking with, Jamar Chase might be locked down. They need to involve Tyler Boyd, this, that, and Joe Mixon's doing good. I get that. That's a fair point. But to counter all those points, right? If Jamar Chase is doubled, is covered, whatever, T. Higgins is the clear number 1. Tyler Boyd, yes, I agree. I do think they need to involve him a little bit.
Right.
And Tyler Boyd is somebody that stretches the field really well. He's a big body. But I don't think they're going to be like, all right, well, T. Higgins, take a backseat. Jamar Chase, take a backseat. We got to really make Tyler Boyd shine. No, I think Tyler Boyd, gets a little bit more involved, but not to a point where it eats into T. Higgins or Jamar Chase. I genuinely think, honestly speaking, I think the Bengals are one of the very few teams that have 3 wide receivers that if they really wanted to, if they build the system around that, could hit 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
all 3.
I think so too. Yeah.
All 3.
Yeah.
And they're so good now that Joe Mixon can rush for 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
That's how ridiculously stacked they are. They fixed that O-line. Joe Burrow, the one knock on Joe Burrow, not even Joe Burrow, on the Bengals last season was what? He didn't have enough time to make all the plays he wanted to. Because Joe Burrow seems like a quarterback that can make all the plays.
That's what cost him the Super Bowl.
Exactly. To me, I thought they should have won the Super Bowl until I saw that fourth quarter. I was like, nah, the Rams deserve it because of that defense. You know what I mean? But besides the point, look, T. Higgins, rookie year 2020, 16 games, 108 targets. It's already plus 100. And keep in mind, he didn't have Joe Burrow all season because Joe Burrow tore his ACL.
Right.
67 receptions, 908 yards, basically 100 yards shy of 1,000, 6 touchdowns. Last season, 14 games because he got hurt, 110 targets, 74 catches, 1,091 yards with 1,300 air yards. Again, 6 touchdowns. So the touchdowns stay the same. I think this is the year where T. Higgins goes crazy. I really do. I think T. Higgins hits 80 to 90 receptions. I think he hits at least 1,100 yards. Not even. I think at least 1,200 yards. And I think he goes into 8 touchdowns. I think T. Higgins is going to be massive this year because of what you said. I think Jamar Chase still balls out because Jamar Chase is one of those players that it's hard to cover. Okay. Yeah. But I think T. Higgins is looked at more now because he's proven 2 years in a row. All right, well, you know what? We could trust this guy. And Joe Burrow has shown, you know what? When my guy Jamar is not open, I'm going T. Yeah. Yes, Tyler Boyd will improve probably. Yes, Joe Mixon will continue eating, but with an improved O-line, with an improved defense, I just see them getting more opportunities. And Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow. They're going to make him throw the ball more than they run.
Yeah.
Especially if they want to make another deep run, they need Joe Mixon healthy. And Joe Mixon has shown last season he was good, but he's shown that if he carries a lot, he's going to take that out.
Right.
I think they save him a little bit. And I just think T. Higgins goes at 12, man. I mean, listen, I think 12 is a little risky, yes, but I think he breaks top 15. Maybe he ends just 15, maybe 16, but I think he's up there. I think you had him at 26, and to me, that's just far too low, personally. But we'll see.
I don't know.
Time will tell.
Top 15 is crazy.
Listen, AJ Brown is my number 11.
Hey.
Okay? So just like we had in last week's episode, number 30, we had the exact same player, Rashad Bateman. This week we will have the same guy at number 11.
Nice.
AJ Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles, unfortunately. But
another guy that I like a lot.
Yeah.
Who plays for a team that I hate.
Yeah. But listen, like you said, just a quick summary, wide receiver 32 last year, but he was hurt. And let's be honest, the Titans are run, and then throw the ball. Right?
Yep.
He's had consistency issues in terms of health, right? But nonetheless, this kid has hit almost 1,000 yards every year. His rookie year, he came out of nowhere too. I remember he was like slept on, and then at the end, kind of like Amon-Ra St. Brown just blew up, and he hasn't stopped ever since.
Yep.
1,051 yards with 8 touchdowns his first year. His second year, 1,075 with 11 touchdowns. Last season, kind of a down year, 105 targets, 63 catches, 869 yards, 5 touchdowns. Not the greatest.
Yeah.
But again, Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry. Okay, I know Derrick Henry was hurt, but they still decided to run the ball with whoever was back there. You know what I mean? And obviously, AJ Brown was hurt. I think in Philadelphia, he's going to be the guy. They still have good pieces as well. They have Devontae Smith. They have Dallas Goedert.
Yep.
But
Dallas Goedert's nice, but no.
Oh, those two are ridiculously good players. Dallas Goedert and Devontae Smith, anybody would want to have them as their tight end 1, wide receiver 1. But AJ Brown's the guy. Okay. And I honestly fully agree with what you said. I do think Jalen Hurts, this is his make it or break it year. Like,
yep.
Fantasy-wise, phenomenal quarterback. We know that.
I know.
Yep. But in person, he has looked shaky, and now they're putting everything around him. They're like, yo, listen, we're building our offense around you. We're giving you the weapons. We're giving you the O-line. Make it work.
Yep.
If Jalen Hurts can't do it this year, the Eagles are going to be like, all right, cool. Who drafted
He's going to be amazing in fantasy. I mean, amazing.
Fantasy, he's going to be phenomenal.
Amazing.
But we got to see
how translate that to real life.
Exactly. So I think this is going to be a throw-heavy team. I know he runs a lot, and they trust Miles Sanders, but I would throw before I run with Miles Sanders or Jalen Hurts run. You know what I mean? I would say Jalen Hurts, listen, we'll design some runs for you, and the rest could be like, if you really need to, sure, run. So, yeah, I just think this is the make it or break it year for him, for Jalen Hurts, of course, and AJ Brown's going to be a big part of that.
Yeah.
I think if AJ Brown stays healthy, he could sneak into the top 10.
Yeah.
He has that talent.
Yep.
But that's the question mark, the talent, the injury concerns. So that's why I have him at 11, just outside the top 10.
Not bad.
Our top 10. Start us off. Let me see what you got from 10 to 6, baby.
Tyreek Hill.
At 10?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Listen, I was debating. I had him like at 13 at one point. But then he just started, going up in spots, going up. Ultimately, he ended up being in my number 10 spot.
Okay.
So last season, he was wide receiver 6, obviously with Patrick Mahomes. Come on, it's Mahomes, right? He had 159 targets, 111 receptions, and 1,239 yards with 9 touchdowns.
And can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
With all those stats, he still was pretty bad for his standards. What?
Yeah, I know. You would think he would be wide receiver 1. No, he was wide receiver 6. And again, all those numbers, he did all of that with Patrick Mahomes. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you leave Kansas City, you leave Patrick Mahomes, you go to Miami, and your quarterback is Tua, right? So you downgrade heavily in quarterback, okay? Which is why I think some numbers will regress. However, Tua's gonna he's gonna be forced to throw to Hill. Okay,
course,
they're
yeah.
gonna be force feeding Hill the ball. Okay, which is good for him. Is good for Hill, right? I honestly see the targets going like 165 or 170. Like I can see that happening. I can really see that happening. I do see him getting less yards just because, you know, that offense was not, it's not Kansas City. Okay. You got Tua who is mobile, who can move, but yeah, he hasn't really showed it much in Miami. Who knows? They might let him do that this season.
It's the arm,
Never
though.
know.
The arm isn't.
Yeah, and
especially compared to Mahomes.
It's not like I could trust that O-line. You know, it's not like Tua could be like, you know what? I can stand back here in the pocket and not move and just, you know, feel at ease. Yeah, he cannot do that.
No.
All right. So again, that's why, and not to mention, he has a tough schedule.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 2 out of 5 stars. That's tough.
I mean, listen, just one name that he's gonna play twice. Tre'Davious White. Like,
bro,
what?
Bro, listen. And you got Bill Belichick, who is a master in eliminating your best weapon.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Lately, Miami has always gotten the upper hand of the Patriots, but Bill Belichick has done it before when Hill was in Kansas City. So I wouldn't be surprised if both games he doesn't do anything. I really wouldn't. But anyway, that's beyond the point. So ultimately I see him getting less yards. However, everything else being around the same. I see him getting, you know, the 9 touchdowns. I see that still happening. I see the targets going up. But just the yardages, the yards are just 1,200 yards. I feel like he won't be able to reach at least this first year in Miami.
Do you think he hits 1,000 though?
I do think he does. He hits 1,000. I do think so, but I don't think he goes 1,100. I don't. So he goes in between 1,000 and 1,100. Okay. I do see that.
All
right. So that's why I have him at 10. And number 9, I don't know if this is too high or too low. Well, not too low because obviously you haven't said his name, so he's definitely in your top 15,
or might not be ranked.
No, he's definitely ranked. He is definitely ranked. He's definitely in your top 10. And I have at number 9 Davante Adams.
Who?
Davante Adams.
I don't know who that is. No, look, honestly, that's wild. Number 9. He was wide receiver 2.
Yeah, last season.
Oh my God, he led me to the finals.
Aaron Rodgers, though.
Yeah.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers. So you're also downgrading quarterback. I mean, Carr is amazing. He's an amazing quarterback. He showed that last season, but still, you went from a GOAT pretty much to a guy who is having the hot hand right now.
Listen, he went from one of the best of all time to maybe not even one of the best of his generation in Derek Carr. Like, no disrespect, because I agree. I think Derek Carr is great, but you know, especially with this generation of quarterbacks, like
yep, right. So he was wide receiver 2. He played 16 games, 169 targets, 123 receptions, 1,553 yards.
Yeah, my guy.
But here it is. Here's the big one: 11 touchdowns.
Yeah.
All right. So looking back a little bit further into like the past, you know, previous 2 years before last season with Green Bay. So in 2020, he played 14 games. He had 148 targets. 115 of those were receptions. And with the receptions, he got 1,374 yards and 18 touchdowns.
18.
That's insane.
Damn.
Right now, I don't see him doing those numbers, the ones that he had in 2020. No. But I do see him getting similar numbers to what he did in 2019. Okay. Right, 2019 he had 12 games. Okay, so out of these previous 3 seasons, that was the season that he played the least games.
That was the season that he had that infamous turf toe issue.
Right. So he played 12 games. He had 127 targets, 83 receptions, 997 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So now you're going to Derek Carr, who is probably going to be not forcing the ball to him because you got 2 other very capable targets. But I do see numbers from 2019 just because, again, you have the previous 2 seasons, 148 targets and 169 targets. That's insane, right? Going from the 2019, which was 127. So that's 20 and then another 20 on top of that 2 seasons later, right? So I do see kind of like in between 130, 140 targets and receptions, definitely a little bit over 100. But still, I do see him going over 1,000, which is almost similar to what he had in 2019. And the touchdowns, though, I do see him regressing on the touchdowns from last season. He had 11 touchdowns. I see him getting maybe not that much, though, not that much. Maybe between like eight or nine. 8 or 9 is my number. And the main thing, though, like I mentioned before when I was talking about Renfrow, his schedule for the toughness is 2 out of 5 stars. So it's going to be pretty tough. And again, going to a new system. Yeah, he was your quarterback in college. You guys are excited, but it's not like you're the youngest guy now, right? You're still, and you've been with Green Bay so long that you have constantly been with that same system that it's going to take you a little bit of time to get that chemistry back with your college quarterback and just the whole system of the Raiders as a whole. So that's why I have him at number 9. And number 8, I have Mike Evans.
Okay.
Now, it's pretty much the same thing he did last season. All right, last season he was wide receiver 9. This season I have him wide receiver 8. He played 16 games, 113 targets, 74 receptions, a little bit over 1,000 yards. But this is where he made pretty much all those fantasy points. He had 14 touchdowns. 14. It's great. Okay. So last season he played 16 games. 2 seasons ago he played 16 games. Okay. Last season 113 targets. 2 seasons ago 109 targets, just off by 4. Okay. Last season 74 receptions. 2 seasons ago 70 receptions, again off by 4. Okay. Last season 1,035 yards. 2 seasons ago 1,006 yards. So 30. Wow. 30, which is fine. And then check this out. Last season 14 touchdowns. 2 seasons ago 13 touchdowns. Literally the same exact thing.
Only 2-year sample size, but consistency king.
Consistency. And that's
especially with Tom Brady.
And that's ever since Tom Brady was there. Tom Brady has been there 2 seasons. There's nobody that has been so consistent similarity wise like this man. This is probably the easiest thing I'm going to say. I see the same numbers for this season, which is why I have him at 8. And
you don't think he gets 4 more catches, 30 more?
maybe. But his schedule is super easy. 4 out of 5 starts, which is amazing. Tom Brady and him are going to keep feasting. Tom Brady has a chip on his shoulder. He's going to need Mike Evans. So especially I see him maybe getting 15 touchdowns, maybe 78 receptions, maybe 117 targets, and another 16 games.
It doesn't probably to be honest.
That's it. So that's why I have him at number 8. Now at number 7, I have Deebo Samuel. All right. Now, last season, I let him go up 4 spots just because he was wide receiver number 3 last season. Okay. And yes, I know 7, he didn't break my top 5, but there's a good reason why. His quarterback situation is very iffy. So you don't know if it's going to be Jimmy G. You don't know if it's going to be Trey Lance. If Trey Lance does start, can you really rely on him? Because the games that he started last season, he didn't really showcase anything. You know what I mean? He wasn't really doing much. And it's like his forte is running. Seems like they're not really going to let him do that. So it's like,
not as much as he would like, at least.
As much as he would like. So it's like, can you really trust your quarterback? Okay. So last season, he had 16 games, 120 targets, 77 receptions, 1,405 yards, and 6 touchdowns. All right. So I do think the quarterback is going to take a hit on him. Yes, he's extremely consistent, which is great, but you also got to keep in mind, you got Kittle there. Right. That's one.
Hopefully fully healthy.
You got to keep in mind that they're starting to utilize Deebo as if he was Christian McCaffrey, 2.0.
Yeah.
And I feel like late in the season, last season, he was kind of showing a little bit of, him getting injured, some fatigueness. So I feel like they might kind of stray away from that a bit. And his schedule is not that tough. It's very average. 3 out of 5 starts. 3 out of 5 starts. So it's not that bad. So I see him regressing just a little bit, just mainly because of the quarterbacks. If it's Jimmy G, he could very well break into the top 5. But if it's Trey Lance, I see him still being top 10, but just right there in between, that 5 and that 10 spot. And then to finish off, I have at number 6, CeeDee Lamb. Okay. Now I was debating. I was so close of having him like in my top 5, but ultimately I just those other 5 guys I just see playing better than him. I really do. Yeah. So last season he was wide receiver 9. So I'm sorry. Whoa. Last season he was wide receiver 19. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say he was not 9.
Yeah. So I got him improving quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. He had 120 targets, 79 receptions, and 1,100 receiving yards, going along with 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, his rookie season, 2 seasons ago, 16 games as well, 111 targets, which is only 9 off from last season, 74 receptions, which is only 5 off from last season. And this is where, there was a nice big chunk of difference, 935 yards, which was from last season, over 100 of a difference. Well, a little less than 100.
Right.
And 5 touchdowns, right? Cooper left behind 103 targets, 68 receptions, 865 receiving yards, and 8 touchdowns.
Yep.
All right. So I have him improving from wide receiver 19 to wide receiver 6. Why? Because I see all of those numbers going up. Okay.
Yep.
I see his targets going up from 120 to easily over 140 targets. Yeah. I see him getting over 100 receptions, minimum 100. And I see him getting a minimum of 10 touchdowns. All right. He will get double digits just because who else are you going to go to? Yeah, you got Schultz. Amazing. I'm very high on Schultz. But besides Schultz, your number one guy is going to be CeeDee Lamb. Right. Yeah, you got Zeke in the back, but you also got Pollard. So they're going to be switching off. You don't got to worry about that. So I do think this is going to be CeeDee Lamb's year. And I have him at number 6 for that reason. And that's what I got, man. You tell me what you got. I have a feeling we might get like another one of the same in this time around as well.
So I'm looking at my list, and let me tell you, it's pretty similar.
Okay.
And we start off with a bang, 2 for 2. Number 10, I got Tyreek Hill.
Nice.
No, listen, Tyreek Hill, I'll say I've always been not a hater, but I've always been somebody that said, he's good. It's just he's very reliant on his speed, like
Skeptic?
which is cool. Yeah, sure. Which is cool. I wish I was that fast.
But, hell yeah. But I'm gonna need that speed for that police academy.
Hey, Tyreek, come here real quick. Show me how it's done. But look, I just never saw him as like in terms of like pure route running or how big his route tree is. I've never thought it was like out of this world. Like,
right.
I think Devontae Adams. I think obviously we go deeper. Randy Moss. I think.
So you don't think he's at that elite level of route running?
Route running, no. Route trees, no. In terms of like just overall eliteness, yeah. Like because that speed is game breaking speed. You'd be dumb to say, well, he doesn't like. Oh, he's fast. That's all he is. Like, come on,
right?
Because he's strong. He's elusive. He does have good routes and he does run them well. It's just I don't think it's as big as like the really top level guys, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah,
and that's what I love in a wide receiver. So. That's one thing. Number 2, which you already mentioned, Tua, Patrick. I really don't think there's a comparison. Like Patrick Mahomes, no matter, even though you have him at number 6 for fantasy, I think we both know he's top 2 in real life. Like this kid is, if he's not the best quarterback in the league, he's definitely top 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Tua's barely top 15. If that, if we're lucky.
I don't think I had him ranked.
I had him ranked I think at like 14, and that's just because of Tyreek Hill. So that shows you how good Tyreek Hill is compared to Tua. But there's one other big thing that I want to talk about because you already mentioned the stats. Like in a way, I kind of want to get into the stats because it's all Patrick Mahomes. I'm gonna give you the last 2 year stats with Patrick Mahomes in terms of yards only.
Yeah,
1,276 yards, 1,239 yards. Patrick Mahomes. And obviously touchdowns 9 last season. 2 years ago was 15. Phenomenal. But again, Patrick Mahomes. So the stats, I feel like there's no need to go too deep on.
Yeah.
The main thing I want to talk about, the coach. He just went from Andy Reid, who is arguably one of the most creative, and I know he gets a lot of criticism.
You know what? I didn't think about that. You're right.
Yeah. And arguably, like I know a lot of people criticize him. I think sometimes unjustly. Like sometimes, he does a little too much, but that's what a perfectionist tries to do. Like just to kind of go off topic a little bit. Like when I think about soccer, like Pep Guardiola, he's one of the best managers of all time. But why does he get criticized? Sometimes because he tries to do something too cute. Like he tries to be too different or too perfect. And it's like, that's not going to work, dude. Just do you. And I feel like Andy Reid sometimes falls into that. He tries to be too cute like that. I'm never going to forget that play before halftime against the Bengals. That was a touchdown and a half. Easy. Waited to happen. And then he tried to get too creative, too cute. They messed it up. The Bengals came in with momentum. Chiefs are out. Otherwise, the Chiefs would have been in the Super Bowl. But again, besides the point, with all that being said, I think Andy Reid is one of the best coaches of all time. and we got a rookie coach who was just an offensive coordinator, Mike McDaniels, who looks good. Everybody talks well about him, but prove it. Prove it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to see. And yes, he got Tyreek Hill. Yes, he has Jalen Waddle, but doesn't mean your play calling is going to be great. That doesn't mean Tua is going to be great. Like, so I don't know. I feel like I'm still skeptical just because of Tua. Tyreek Hill easily has top 5 potential, top 3 maybe, but the downgraded quarterback and a coach, he's at 10 for me. Number 9, a little different. I know you had Davante Adams, but pretty close. I have wide receiver 9 from last year, Mike Evans.
Get out of here. You got him in the same spot.
The same exact spot. I'm going to be real with you, though. I didn't even know he was 9 last season. I honestly thought he was higher because I knew he went so crazy with touchdowns and he's Tom Brady's guy. I thought he was like at least like 7 or 6, but number 9. And I was shocked when I saw it, but he will be, in my opinion, number 9 again. No need to go into stats again. You said it all. You know, basically just goes up 4 targets every year. 4 more targets, 4 more catches, 30 more yards, 1 more touchdown. Does he do it again this year? Probably. Especially, one thing I will want to touch up on. He might not have Chris Godwin competing with him the first few weeks. Right?
True.
Because maybe Chris Godwin's only on 1 week. Maybe they put him on that PUP list, whatever it's called. Yeah. I think they're required to miss 4 weeks or 6 weeks. I don't remember. So whatever length amount of time, he might not have competition in Chris Godwin. If Chris Godwin's back, I still think what you said in last week's episode, they kind of work him in a little bit slowly. And Mike Evans still that guy. There's no Gronk either. You know what I mean? So those targets from Gronk and those targets from, let's say, the timeout that Chris Godwin has to take, they have to go somewhere. And yes, they got Russell Gage. Yes, you're big on Cameron Brate. I get all that. But Tom Brady's guy is Mike Evans. And there's one thing we know about Tom Brady is when he has somebody he trusts, when he has a reliable receiver, when there's somebody he has a connection with, he doesn't care. He's going to him.
Yep.
So yeah, you might think like,
and there's nothing you could do about it.
Nothing you could do about it, you know. And yes, like I agree with you. Gronk's replacement, Brate, could be good. Russell Gage, I think, is a great number 3. He's no AB, but he's a great number 3. But that doesn't mean Tom Brady's gonna be like, yeah, guys, I got you. Yeah, he's gonna get them involved, but the main guy, Mike Evans, in the end zone, Mike Evans.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, listen, me saying all this, I'm not gonna lie to you, is kind of making me think I ranked them too low. I'm kind of convincing myself, like, wait, why am I having him at 9? But the reason why I do is injuries. You know, I'm saying all the good stuff about him, which is true. If he stays healthy and he plays all 17 games, he could be top 5 stats wise.
Yeah.
But those injuries, man, and I know he plays through them. I remember I forget what game. I think he hurt his ribs or something. I don't remember. And he was down. And he was like, basically, he didn't cry, but it looked like he was about to cry. And everybody's like, well, Mike Evans is out. Like they reported, Mike Evans is out for the game. Next thing you know, third quarter comes around, he's out there on the field. We're like, whoa, what just happened? You know, like that. He's a tough dude, and he will fight. He'll play through anything. But I feel like injuries could take a toll. Hopefully not. You know, if he stays healthy, like I said, we both might be wrong. I do think he could break into top 5. But
yeah,
I'll keep him a 9. I think it's just a safe spot for him. Great player though. I actually genuinely love this guy. Like he's one of my favorite wide receivers. And just to end it off with him, this guy has been in the league 8 years now. Like he's finished 8 seasons.
Yeah.
Every year he's had 1,000 or more yards.
Damn.
No matter the quarterback. From 2014 to 2021, 1,051, 1,206, 1,321, 1,001, 1,524, 1,157, 1,006, 1,035. So every year he hits 1,000. He's reliable, even if he's hurt. Because his games, if we go off games, just 15, 15, 16, 15, 16, 13, 16, 16. So, you know, there's always an injury with him, but hopefully not this year. And if he proves me wrong, I'm not mad at it. I love Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Number 8. Again, just one off. Deebo Samuel. Listen, wide receiver 3 last year, what you said. Was it all Jimmy Garoppolo? No. But having what you said, like, because everybody should know by now, like, I'm not massive on Jimmy G. I'm not saying that he's bad. It's kind of how I feel about Carson Wentz and Baker. I don't think they're bad, but I also don't think they're like, let me build my franchise around them. I think they're good quarterbacks that can do the job. And having him, that consistent quarterback that knows how to manage games, that knows how to win, it helped Deebo, of course. But let's be real. Deebo helped himself with all those rushing yards, with all those handoffs, with all those quick sweeps, a bunch of different ways that they use them. Yes, as a receiver, 1,400 receiving yards, right? But that's only on 77 catches, which means it's an 18 yards. Yeah, 18 yards per catch, which is pretty insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he did only score 6 receiving touchdowns. I think he scored more rushing touchdowns. I would have to check the stats. I don't really remember. But I do think it takes a dip because I'm big on Trey Lance. Like overall, I think he's gonna end up being good. Still, it's a question mark. You know what I mean? Players will always defend their quarterback, and reporters will always either, honestly, it sounds basic, but it's true. Either tell the truth or exaggerate a lie.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't know the truth. Is Trey Lance really that nice? Is Trey Lance really that average? So only the season will tell. So right now, since the quarterback situation is a little bit up in the air and we don't know what's going on, I have to put him at 8. I think he has also the skill set to easily be top 3, like a Tyreek Hill. It's just the quarterback situation, man.
Yep.
The only reason I got him above Tyreek Hill is because I think Kyle Shanahan is going to find a way to make Deebo phenomenal regardless of the quarterback. Meanwhile, like I said, Mike McDaniels, I know he comes from the same tree, but like, prove it. You know, as simple as that. At number 7, I would say my top 3 favorite wide receivers. One of my top 3 favorite wide receivers in the league. And I love him. I wanted so badly to put him at 5. At one point, he was 5 for me because, you know, I love him. But then I was like, all right, let's think with the head, not the heart. So I had to drop him 2 spots. Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
To me, Mr. Consistency. Like, if there's a man they need to rely on, I'm going Keenan Allen. Like, this guy is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's in an offense that's loaded. Okay. Justin Herbert, obviously a quarterback.
I can't wait.
Mike Williams opposite of him. Behind him, they got Eckler. I know they drafted some rookie running back to kind of ease off on Eckler rushing. They got Gerald Everett, which in a way they needed to upgrade tight end. Gerald Everett isn't phenomenal.
Yeah, but he's a big body. He's a big body.
So, and obviously the coaching staff, they improved on defense. Like, I think the Chargers are in a really phenomenal spot to like do something special. And Keenan Allen's going to be a big part of it. Okay. Keenan Allen last season, 16 games, 157 targets, 157 targets, 106 catches, 1,138 yards, only 6 touchdowns. That's always been his biggest knock. He's never hit double digits in terms of touchdowns.
Yeah.
He started in the league in 2013. Touchdowns alone, it's 8,440. In 2016, he got hurt from week 1. 6,6,6,8,6. So he hasn't hit double digits. I think this is the year he hits double digits. I think this is the year, at least 10.
Yeah.
Listen, Justin Herbert's only getting better. Okay. He's only getting better. He knows the system by heart now. He has a connection with Keenan Allen. I think Keenan hits 10. The yardage, I think he stays around the same. 1,100 sounds about right. The receptions, I'm going to keep him at 100. For the past 3 years, 4 out of the last 5 years, he hit 100 receptions. 102 in 2017, 97, so 3 off in 2018, 2019, 104, 2020, 100 on the dot. Last season, 106. I got him staying at 100. Last season, he was wide receiver 11. I'm pushing him up to 7. I think those touchdowns are really going to help him. One of my favorite wide receivers. Love you, Keenan. And then to round it off at number 6, the third player that we will have in the same slot, CeeDee Lamb. Listen,
nice.
I hate that he plays for the Cowboys. Listen, I'm going to be super honest, guys. This is how petty I am, and this is how much I don't like the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb last year was my first round pick. Okay? Because we do keepers. We explained this before. I had 2 keepers already, so he was my first wide receiver taken, basically. Third player, but for my first round pick. Why? Because I knew somebody else wanted him, and I didn't want him. Why? Literally, I know he's great, but because he's on the Cowboys. So I managed to pull off a really good trade. I think I gave away CeeDee Lamb and like some bum wide receiver and a kicker for Devontae Adams and like a wide receiver too. Just because I know he really wanted CeeDee, and I didn't want him. Just because he's on the Cowboys. If CeeDee Lamb played for any other team, I'd be like, I want CeeDee. I don't care. Because let's be real, he's a phenomenal player. He's really talented. And it's just very simple. What you said. There's no Amari Cooper. There might not be, kind of like Mike Evans' situation, in the first week or maybe more. There might not be a true number 2 because Michael Gallup might not play. Dalton Schultz will step up as the number 2. We know that, but CeeDee Lamb.
Yep.
What you said, Zeke Elliott every year. Oh, he's looking better, and he does. I remember I saw they posted a picture, and he looks lean as hell. This is probably the skinniest I've seen him.
Yeah, but you know what's cool? It's crazy. It's crazy how every year they say Zeke is getting better, and then once the season starts, Potter's getting better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's like, well, Zeke got skinnier, Zeke got leaner, Zeke got better. Are you not seeing what Pollard is doing, bro? Pollard is working on his game, and every time Pollard plays lately, he looks better than Zeke.
Yeah.
And I like Zeke. I love Zeke.
Yep.
But Pollard as a football player is looking better. So I think CeeDee Lamb's the very clear number one in Dallas, like far and beyond. Even with Gallup and Schultz there, I think he's far and beyond number one. It's just, why is he not in the top 5? Simply because when you hear my top 5, there's no shot he passes them. Okay. I'm not going to go too crazy with the stats. You already gave it up. The only stat I want to bring up is last season. He's only been here 2 years, never missed a game. Both years he's had 100 or more targets. Both years he's hit above 73 catches. I think this year I agree with you. Maybe you said 100 catches, right?
Yeah, minimum 100.
I think minimum for me to be safe, I think minimum 90. 100 is very realistic, yes. But I'm going to keep it 90 just to be safe. Yeah. 1,100 yards, I see him passing to at least 12. At least 12.
Yep.
6 touchdowns, I see him in the 8 touchdown range, maybe 10. Because Dalton Schultz is a big body guy, and that's probably who they're going to go for. And they like to run Zeke. Zeke could have a terrible game, but then they'll give him 2 little rushing touchdowns, and it makes it look pretty. So, but I got CD at 6. I think his talent is definitely up there. I want to see what Dak does now with the lesser O-line. They used to be one of the best. Now it's a little shaky. They have a really good defense. Dak should be fully released from that injury. So I want to see. But I got CD at 6. So do you. But now, the big boys. The moment everyone's been waiting for. The top 5. So only 5 players left that we're going to say each.
Yep.
And I'm excited to see. I feel like, honestly, 3 at the very least are going to be the same. Maybe 4. Because I'll tell you this.
Maybe 4.
I'll tell you what. There's already one guy that you had already mentioned.
I already know. I've been looking at my list, and I'm like.
So it's not going to be 5 for 5.
No.
But I think it's going to be 4 for 5. But let's not get ahead of those. Start us off. What's your number 5?
See. All right. So at number 5, I'm not going to lie. I had him at number 3 at one point. I had him at number 3.
Oh, I think I know what you're saying.
All right. So eventually I put him down to 4 because I'm looking at all these other players and I'm like, man, no, you know what? And I started digging deep into all the other players and I'm like, all right, 4 is fine. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to move him down to number 5.
All right.
And I hate it because he's one of my favorite guys. I love this guy. I absolutely love this guy. But I feel like at number 5 is his perfect fit. Okay, it is his perfect fit. And you think you know who it is.
Oh, I know who it is.
You're wrong.
I know who it is.
You're wrong. All right. Who do you think it is?
Jamar Chase.
Wrong. Keenan Allen.
Oh, hey, Keenan, my boy. I'll take it. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, so I agree with everything you said about Keenan. Yeah, you got him at number 7. I think that might be a little bit too low.
I hope it is.
Two more spots, he's not really that far off.
Watch this man end up at 6.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, so I have him at number 5. You already said it, but just to refresh everybody, he was wide receiver 11 last season, right? You already said it. 16 games, 157 targets, 106 receptions, 1,100 yards, a little over 1,100, and 6 touchdowns.
Yep.
I love that you said that he's gonna get minimum 10 because that is exactly what I was gonna say. Exactly. This is the year he goes double digits.
Oh, I hope so.
100%. This is the year. I am willing to put money on that.
Bro, listen.
This is the year.
8 years in this league, one of the best wide receivers that we've seen these 8 years, and he hasn't hit double digits yet.
Bro.
And to be fair, he's had good quarterbacks. Phillip Rivers, yes. At the end, obviously, Phillip Rivers wasn't the same, but Phillip Rivers was good when he first came in. And not Justin Herbert. It has to be this year, bro. It has to be this year.
Listen, the offense will be better. Why? Because they're going to have better field position. Why? Because of that defense.
Yep.
Because of that defense. And if they're in a better position when that offense is out there, you're going to see more looks for him, more touchdowns. There is no way his touchdowns will go to 10 touchdowns. And the chemistry that Allen and Herbert have, it's going to be taken to a whole different level.
Yep.
To a whole different level. And I am here for it. I absolutely love that. I have him at number 5 for that reason. And the schedule, it's very average. And that for Allen is fantastic.
That means it's easy.
Yeah, exactly. That means it's easy for him. So I absolutely love him at number 5. I think it's a great position. Now talking about it, I'm like, you know what? This is a perfect spot. I don't know why I had him at number 3, but this is perfect spot at number 5. All right. Number 4. I don't know if you're going to have him at number 1. Maybe there's a reason why you have that shirt on. Oh, he might be number 1.
Okay.
Right. But I do have Stephon Diggs. As number 4. Okay. I see him improving. Last season, he was wide receiver 7. He played every single game, 17 games, 164 targets, 103 receptions, a little over 1,200 yards, and he went with 10 touchdowns. All right. Now, this is a fun fact, which I love. All right. And this is why I have him improving. I see his touchdowns going up. Right.
Yeah.
This season, he had 10 touchdowns. The past 3 years, almost like the Mike Evans thing with Tom Brady. But Diggs, again, since with Mike Evans, I just had a sample of 2 seasons. Diggs, I have a sample of 3 seasons. Right. So the past 3 seasons, he has increased his touchdowns by 2. Right. In 2019, 6 touchdowns. Okay. 2020, 8 touchdowns. 2021, okay. 10 touchdowns. So for the past 3 seasons, he's been pretty consistent in they want to look for him in the end zone. Now, granted, in 2019, it was his last season with the Vikings.
Yep.
But still, Buffalo kind of took that and they saw that and they were like, you know what? We need to get this man more involved with touchdowns. So what they do for his first year with Buffalo, they gave him 2 more touchdowns. Then they saw, you know what? We need to feed him more. This is our guy. We need to feed him more. 10 touchdowns. Obviously, it still hasn't been good enough to get to the Super Bowl. So you know what I think is going to happen? Minimum 12 touchdowns. I see it happening. This man, he is amazing at route running. This man never drops a ball. He's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So I see that happening. In 2020, he had a little bit over 1,500 yards. All right. I see that being like the same amount of yardages. And again, like I said, 12 touchdowns. Why? His schedule is easy. It's easy, 4 out of 5 stars. And for him, that's a piece of cake. Wow. It is amazing for him. So that's all I'm going to say about him. I have him at number 4. And I mean, obviously the top 3 guys, I think, are like at a not a completely different tier, but it's like they're kind of separating themselves from that 4 and that 5 a bit. As much as I hate to say, because I love number 4 and I love number 5 in, Diggs and Keenan.
Right.
But at number 3,
just say it, that jersey. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Ja'Marr Chase at number 3. All right. He was wide receiver number 5 last season. I do see him improving a little bit. I see his receptions and his yards going up. However, the reason I see his touchdowns going down a bit, I don't see him getting 13 touchdowns. So just to recap, last season he had 128 targets, 81 receptions, 1,455 yards, and 13 touchdowns. I see him getting all those numbers again. I see him possibly getting more targets. He had 128 targets. I see the receptions and the receiving yards going up. All right. I see the touchdowns going down a bit just because I feel like, his rookie season was so great. With 13 touchdowns, nobody knew him. It was his first year. They didn't know how to handle him, how to defend him. So I do think 13 touchdowns is a lot for him. I do see a bit of regression there. 13 touchdowns, I don't see it happening. I do see him getting 10, but no more than 10, to be honest. No more than 10. So I do see him in the touchdown department dipping a bit. I see his receptions going up, and I do see his yards going up, possibly over 1,500. However, his wide receiver schedule is average. Again, easy for him, but I just feel like this man is a completely different level of a player. He came in, he took the league by storm, and that's gonna keep improving. How? By his receptions and his yardages.
Yep.
So that's why I have him at number 3. And number 2, I really wanted to put him as number 1 overall, but I'm like, should I not? Is this gonna be his year? I don't know. So at number 2, and I love this guy as well. My top 5, I love every single one. They're great players. If I could draft all of them for my fantasy team, I would. That would be amazing. But obviously I can't.
That's basically number 2, a guaranteed title.
At number 2, I have Justin Jefferson. All right. Last season, wide receiver 4. Okay. 17 games, 167 targets, 108 receptions, 1,616 yards, going along with 10 touchdowns. All right. I see every single one of those numbers going up. Every single one. I see him going. His target is not by much. 170. I do see that. Okay. 108 receptions is going to be way too low. I see him getting, okay, maybe not way too low. Definitely minimum 110.
Yeah.
All right. So I see that going up. I see the yardages going up to like 1,700. And I see the 10 touchdowns going up maybe to like 12. All right. So I see he has everything that I'm saying now is like, wow, he should be your wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Right. His schedule is a little bit tough, but he's JJ. All right. This man, it doesn't matter how hard his schedule is. It does not matter. Kirk Cousins and him have an amazing rapport. It's freaking. They're gonna take it to a whole different level. All right, but there's only one reason why he's not my number one.
The king himself.
And that is because this man is going to repeat being number one overall wide receiver and possibly number one overall player in fantasy. Was he number one?
Jonathan.
Or was it Jonathan? Yeah.
Jonathan.
Right. He might take that from Jonathan Taylor, honestly. So I got Cooper Kupp as my overall wide receiver one, the number one. All right. Obviously, last season, like I said already, wide receiver one. Okay. Healthy, plays every game. Yeah. Practically every snap. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
191 targets. Okay. 191 targets. I see that very similar. Damn. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 200 targets.
I was about to say he almost hit 200 targets.
Bro, I would not be surprised if he reaches 200 targets. 145 receptions. Would not be surprised if he gets minimum 150.
Yo.
1,947. I guarantee you minimum 2,000 yards.
Ooh.
Minimum 2,000 yards, and he had 16 touchdowns. I see that same number. I see that same number for touchdowns. A touchdown per game. I see that. And again, same thing like I said with Justin Jefferson. His wide receiver schedule is tough, but it's Cooper Kupp, bro. It's the king himself. That doesn't matter. And you got Stafford as your quarterback. He does not care, bro. Last season, you saw what they did together. It's going to continue on this season. The man is healthy. He's ready to defend that title. And that's why he is the undisputed number one wide receiver for me. Right. Mic drop.
Hey, listen. Interesting. Very interesting. Definitely 4 out of 5 names are the same. I'll tell you that much. Okay.
Yeah. I already know the 5th name is Davante Adams.
It's Davante Adams. I was going to say, let's just get it off. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. The only name that we have different, my number 5, Davante Adams.
No, that's perfect too that you have him number 5. So our top 4 is the same names.
Yes. And I
wonder if it's the same order.
Did you have Davante 7 or 9?
What?
Davante was 7 or 9 for you. I think he was 9, right?
Davante was number 9 for me.
All right, so never mind. I was gonna say you had him at 7. I have Keenan, but never mind.
No, you had Keenan at 7. I had
right.
Keenan at
5. I was gonna say we flipped those two, but never mind. I mean, listen, the top 4 is gonna be the same. Let's see in what order. But here we go. Davante Adams. I know it's gonna sound bad, but he downgrades at quarterback. It's just, to me, as bad as it sounds, it's not a bad downgrade. What I mean by that is it only sounds bad because we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, arguably one of the greatest of all time, definitely one of the greatest in this generation.
I don't see him being top 5 though. I really don't.
Listen. Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers could play with blindfold,
with their eyes closed.
Yeah, we know that. But Derek Carr has previous chemistry with Davante Adams, and we're talking about a Derek Carr that back then wasn't as good as he is now.
Right.
A Davante Adams who was not as good as he is now.
True.
I just see him. I don't think all right. Like, listen, last season he was wide receiver 2. He's not doing that. Okay. No. If Cooper Kupp didn't exist, he'd be wide receiver 1 by a mile.
No way. Justin Jefferson. No,
I'm saying last season. Last season he would have been wide receiver 1 by a mile.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. But I think he dips to wide receiver 5. Okay. I see him kind of having 2020 numbers where he had 148 catches, like you said, 148 targets, 115 catches, 1,374 yards. The 18 touchdowns will dip. I don't think he has 18 touchdowns.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm saying the other ones, like, I think, 1,300 yards around there sounds about right. 110 catches sounds about right. Touchdowns, I kind of see it like last year. 11 touchdowns he had last year. I see that this year. So I see him dipping to number 5, a combination of the same yardage from 2020, but the same touchdowns from last year. It's hard to doubt him just because of his skill set. And like I said, it's not like he's downgrading like Tyreek Hill's downgrading. He's not downgrading like other players, right? He's going from a quarterback that's legendary, that's one of the best, to a really good, in my opinion, more than above average quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Compared, like, I'm telling you, if you line up Derek Carr, Carson Wentz, Tua, whatever, I'm taking Derek Carr every day, twice on Sundays. You feel me? So I don't think it's that bad of a downgrade, but it is.
You forgot to include Daniel Jones in there, but it's all right.
There's a reason why I didn't include him, because there's no giant wide receiver. There was no Giants in the top 15 of tight ends. There was no Giants in the top 15 of quarterbacks, and there's damn sure no Giants in the top 30 wide receivers. There's a reason why. Anyways,
Let's see if that goes on with the running backs next week.
tell you what, that's definitely gonna change. But anyways, yeah, I just think it's a downgrade, yes, but it's not like extraordinary. So I think 5 is fine. I know you got him at 9. I could see him falling anywhere between 5 and 9, but I think 5 is a good spot for him, in my opinion. You ready for this? Are you ready for this?
Stop.
At number 4.
You better not say Ja'Marr.
Ja'Marr Chase.
Really?
Ja'Marr Chase is number 4 for me, and I'll explain myself. No
way.
Wide receiver 5 last season. He is definitely, like you said, taking the league by storm. I mean, these numbers, when I read them, you would think it's a vet. Okay.
Yeah.
128 targets, 81 catches, 1,455 yards, 13 touchdowns. You would think that's Devontae Adams. You would think that's Cooper Kupp. That's Keenan Allen, right?
Right.
This is a rookie. This is a rookie with a second-year quarterback. That's insane when you think about it like that, right? But I do think, listen, he's wide receiver 5. I see him going up to wide receiver 4. Why? Because what you said, I don't see him getting 13 touchdowns. I see him getting, I agree, like 10, 11. The yardage, I don't see him going to 15 like you do. I see him going to like 16.
Oh, okay. All right.
You thought I was going to go lower.
No, okay.
I see him going to 16.
Yeah.
The catches I see going up. 81 catches.
He's
going to hit at the very least 90. At the very least.
Yeah, I agree.
But I do think a combination of what we said before. You think Tyler Boyd would be more involved? I agree with that. You don't think T. Higgins will be that involved? I think T. Higgins will be very much involved. So I think this season they spread the ball out a little bit more. Ja'Marr Chase is still far and beyond the number 1.
Yeah.
But they spread it out more. So I don't see him dipping, but I also don't see him going to the top 3 yet. Right now I have him at 4. Wouldn't shock me if he ends up 3, 2, or 1. It's Ja'Marr Chase. But I have him at 4. Number 3. Your number 3 has you have the jersey of your number 3. I have the jersey of my number 3. Stephon Diggs.
Okay. We pretty much just swapped them.
We swapped them. Yeah, we swapped them.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs. My favorite wide receiver in the league. There's a reason why I have this jersey. Side note, just for those that you don't know, I got this jersey as a birthday gift. I don't remember who gave it to me. Was it you? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, that wouldn't be you.
Yeah, it was me.
Jay got me this for my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Love him. Love the jersey. Love him. Stephon Diggs. Always been one of my favorite receivers, even when he was in Minnesota. Kind of like Terry McLaurin. I found a way to have him in my team every year. I've traded for him. I've drafted him. I have him right now. And I'll tell you this much. Again, we have to keep 2 players. I'm really debating keeping him. And I got a good team. So I'm really debating keeping him. That's how much I love
we have him in our
we have him in ours. You know, I think in ours we probably won't keep him, but if we did, I would be happy. But listen, besides that, he's just an absolutely phenomenal player. Okay. I think he is top 3 route runners in the league.
Yeah, I agree.
The route that he did on Marshawn Lattimore, who is one of the best corners in the league. I think it was it was Thanksgiving. My jaw literally fell to the floor. Like I watched it happen and I was like, oh, like that was disgusting. And then we were lucky enough to see him in person, and he did a simple out route, mossed the Jets defender, got up, and I was just like, this guy's for real. This guy's for real. You know, I love him. I love him a lot. Just to go into stats now. Listen, he's been in the league 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Listen, he's been in the league 7 years. Out of those 7 years, the last 4, he's hit 1,000 yards. And he's been close the other 3 years. 720 rookie year, 903 second year, 849 third year. 2018, 1,021. 2019, last year with the Vikings, like you said, 1129. 2020 went berserk, 1535. Last year, 1225. But like you said, every year he goes up in 2 touchdowns. Minnesota, he had 6 touchdowns the last year. 2020, he had 8 touchdowns. Last season, he had 10. I think he goes back to 2020 yard numbers. He goes to 1,500 yards again. I think he stays at 10, maybe pushes to 12, like you said.
Yeah.
The targets, man, he's 100+ targets, 100+ receptions.
Easy.
So my projection for him is at least 170 targets.
Yeah.
At least 115 catches, 1,500 yards, and I would say, to be safe, 10 touchdowns. I think that propels him into the top 3.
So double digits for sure in touchdowns.
Double digits for sure. He was wide receiver 7 last year. I definitely see him at 3. Wouldn't be mad or shocked if he swaps with Ja'Marr Chase, but that's my baby boy. little love I have for him had to push him into 3. Kind of just said, Jamar, I'm sorry, but
so biased.
Hey, I never said that. I just said, I love him a little bit more than I love Jamar Chase. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's all right. It's all right. I got you, Jamar. I got you.
And now our top 2, same players.
Yes.
Will they be the same positions though?
I hope so.
Number 2.
Come on, we're 3 for 3. I mean, well, yeah, we got 3.
We got 3.
Are we gonna make a 5?
Either stays 3 or we make it 5. I don't know. Ready? Number 2. Jay Jettis. Justin Jefferson.
Nice.
Number 2 is Justin Jefferson.
Nice.
I think I agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in the season, or maybe at the end of the season, he's number 1. Yeah. And I'm definitely not surprised. Well, no. And I definitely expect him to eventually, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, but probably a year, to be the number 1 guy.
Yeah.
Okay. He's that good. And to me, Kirk Cousins is like a little bit below Derek Carr. He's above average. And he still looks amazing. Imagine this man in the Chiefs. Ooh. Justin Jefferson would hit 2,000 yards.
Or with Aaron Rodgers.
Or with, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he could do that with Kirk Cousins, who, again, no disrespect, he's not a bad quarterback, but he's just obviously not Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
The sky's the limit for this kid. Okay, the sky is the limit. I remember when he came out his rookie year, 1,400 yards on the dot. Yes, Jamar Chase just broke it, but at that point, it was a record. Only 7 touchdowns, and people were like, well, it might have been lucky, it might have been a fluke. Bro, everything went up. He had 125 targets his rookie year. Last season, 167.
Yep.
88 catches his rookie year. 20 more last season, 108. 1,400 yards. Yo, there's no way he's matching that. It was a fluke his rookie year. Last season, he had 16. 7 touchdowns. Again, a fluke. 10 touchdowns last year. So he's only improved. Like, there's no fluke, bro. Like, Justin Jefferson is that guy. And he had a slow start last season, which is why.
Side note, which is why I have Jamar Chase at 3. But go on.
Right. Justin Jefferson, he was wide receiver 4 because of the slow start. I think next season he's consistent all year.
Yeah.
And I think he ends up wide receiver 2. I think he makes it close to Cooper Kupp. I don't think Cooper Kupp will blow him out. I think it's going to be close.
Bro, you know what? Now that you say that, I forgot to mention that. I think Justin Jefferson is going to give Kupp a run for his money.
Kupp is going to be looking back and then he's going to be like, damn. Like, it's going to be week 17 and Matthew Stafford's like, yo, let's stop at you.
I wouldn't be surprised if Justin Jefferson for half the season is number 1 overall.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, I say definitely by 2 years for sure, most likely next year, though. Wouldn't be surprised if it's this year, though, that he'll be the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy.
Yep.
But for now, there's only one man that holds the crown, and it's a triple crown. It's going to be hard to take it off him. Cooper Kupp, man. Literally.
That man is different, man.
That man, it's hard to describe him. It's hard to describe him. This guy, keep in mind, a lot of people, the criticism they try to give him is like, oh, he's a slot player. That's why he's so good. Bro, shut up. Yep. Shut up. He could play anywhere. He's so good in the slot. Why change him? If I have a stud at the slot, why am I going to change him? I don't care what you say. I want to win. Yep. And it's proven. They won the Super Bowl last year with him in the slot. So criticize him all you want that he's a slot player. I don't care.
Yeah,
he should have cared. The Rams definitely don't care. Listen, 1,947 yards. That stands out to me more than the targets. Like, the targets is wild. 191 targets. Ridiculous. But the fact that he was 53 yards away from 2,000 yards as a wide receiver. Yes, he had an extra game than anyone else ever. But, bro, 53 yards away?
I know.
Honestly, that's one incompletion away. Because Matthew Stafford and him had that connection where, like, they could hit a 70-yarder. So I'm pretty sure that was one incompletion. But there is one thing that stands out to me. And there's a reason why they call him this. And I've always called him this, but in a very loving way. He is the Yak King. For those of you that don't know, Yak is yards after catch.
Right.
His air yards last season was only 1,590. He ended with 1,947 yards.
That's
okay.
insane.
So basically a little bit under 400 yards were just literally him yards after catch, which is ridiculous when you think about it.
That's insane.
Okay. A lot of people have like 1,000 receiving yards, but 1,500 air yards. That means 500 of those yards in the air were incomplete, were drop ball, whatever. This man had 1,500, let's say 1,600 air yards, almost 2,000 receiving yards. His yards after catch is insane. This guy is literally unstoppable.
Yep.
He is one of the best route runners as well. He has sure hands. Obviously he has some injury concern because he's tore his ACL before. and everybody was scared of it this year. Like, oh, is he gonna get hurt again? He didn't, thankfully, and I hope it happens again in 2022. I hope he doesn't get hurt and he can play all 17 games because I agree with you. If he plays all 17 games, if he plays all 17 games, all right, I agree. I think he hits 200 targets. I think he hits 150 receptions, and I think he hits 2,000 yards, which is insane to think about, but very realistic for him.
And at the same time, maintaining those touchdowns.
16 touchdowns. Yeah, I can see him. If he dips, I can see it dip into like 13, 14, but not like 10. I'm saying if it dips, if it does dip, I don't see it going to like 10. I see it going to like maybe dipping by 2 or 3 max.
Bro, I wouldn't be surprised. More. I wouldn't be surprised if he does what Davante Adams did with the 18.
With touchdowns. The 18, yeah.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, and listen, I think Allen Robinson helps him more than Robert Woods does. Why? Because Robert Woods is great, but Allen Robinson is such a big body that you can't think, all right, let's take away the middle of the field for Cooper Kupp because he's going to beat you over the top. He's a good route runner. He has good hands. So those defenses have to balance it out, and Cam Akers is a good running back. Hopefully they do sign OBJ and he comes back because that'll help them. Van Jefferson is a deep threat. He's shown it. Tyler Higbee, he has his moments. So listen, I don't think Cooper Kupp's going to get doubled. And if he does, he can still beat that. Cooper Kupp is still the king, Triple Crown winner. Wouldn't be shocked if he does it again. Very clear number 1 for me.
Yep.
There you go.
I love it. We started with the same player and we finished.
Yep. So listen, I think Cooper Kupp should be the unanimous number 1 for anybody and everybody.
Easy.
But obviously some players might say Justin Jefferson. Some might say still Davante Adams, Jamar Chase. I don't know.
Jamar,
you know what I mean? But listen, I'm excited for this. I think this is one of the deepest pools, one of the most fun pools. It's crazy to think about. Obviously, suspension is one of the big reasons why, but DeAndre Hopkins isn't on this list.
No.
To think that now Julio Jones is on this list when like 2-3 years ago, he'd definitely be top 10, top 15. Like, it's crazy how time evolves. And now we're talking about Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, second and third year players. So, it's insane, but that's our top 30. Let us know what you guys think. What do you guys agree with? What do you guys disagree with? What's your top 5, top 10, whatever? Let us know. We really love these talks.
Bro, you know what? Me making these top 30 is giving me the itch to play fantasy. It's giving me the itch.
50 days till kickoff. 50 days till kickoff. Okay. We are almost there.
Next week.
And that's
when we do the running backs.
Listen, and that's NFL kickoff. Fantasy is usually a week before. So we're there. I would say we're like a month away from like start drafting.
For sure, we're going to be,
I would say we're like a month away from drafting, which is so exciting. So exciting. Now all we got left is running backs. Yep. We do our top 30 running backs. We're also going to split it into 2. Spoiler, we're going to do a top 30. We're going to split into 2. And we're almost there, boys. We are almost there. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But that wraps it up for the wide receivers. Let's go into the EOE now. The EOE, just like last week, it's going to be a little short this time around as well. It's nothing crazy that's been going on in the sports world, just because I feel like, it's still early. It's still early, Last week I did talk about Barcelona for a little bit. There's only one big piece of news that I want to mention. Lewandowski's officially coming to Barca, which is a phenomenal signing. Like kind of going back to what you said last week. I don't know how we're doing it. I really don't.
I don't know how you guys are doing it.
I don't know how we're doing it. I know, like,
you guys are sabotaging something.
Listen, like I said last week, they're probably finding loopholes, but they're selling all these rights and getting money from these companies and then using that to pay debt and pay whatever. Sure, but like, I don't know. Look, I don't get I'm not interested in the business side of soccer. Soccer is my favorite sport in the world. I coach it, I play it, but I don't care for the business side of it. So are they doing some shady stuff? Probably, maybe. Are they finding loopholes? Most likely. These are business. Yeah. Most of these guys are lawyers. They work in big corporations. They know the loopholes. Yeah. So they're doing something. All right, they're doing something. But
I hate it.
Listen, as long as it's legal, do it. Keep doing it because I love these signings. Kessié, Christensen, I guess, Rafinha, Lewandowski, rumors of Koundé, bro. Barca's back on the up, baby.
There's another signing I really like.
Which one?
Now it has nothing to do with Barca. All right, so let's go on to bigger and better news.
Barca's done. Barca was
bigger and better news. Okay, this signing is the real signing here. Forget Lewandowski; he's washed. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Christian Eriksen to Manchester United.
Don't cry when he outscores Benzema. Anyways,
like I said, Christian Eriksen to Manchester United.
Oh yeah,
happened last week.
That's a great signing.
Loved it.
It's kind of sad though, because I didn't want him to go back to Tottenham. Like, I feel like when you think Eriksen, you think Tottenham. So it's like even in a Man U kid.
Yeah,
like,
but I'm excited to see him in a Man U
I'm
kit,
happy.
honestly.
I'm happy.
Really
I'm
am.
just happy to see him back in like a top level club.
Yep.
Because he deserves it, especially after, not only after everything he's been through personally. Yes, that's a big part, but he's a skilled player. You know, I know he's getting to the 30 age and he's getting up there, but like he's still disgustingly nice. So Man U, I think that's a great signing. I think that's a great signing.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, for the EOE, very, very short today. But there's one thing we're gonna bring up today. We're gonna introduce some trivia games. Okay. Listen,
I don't know how to feel about this. Listen, I'm not the best.
Listen, we said it. When it becomes this slow, like in terms of news, we're gonna start doing games. We're gonna do would you rather's. We're gonna do, start bench cut, things like that. But we're gonna start it very, very simple. Some trivia questions. And what better way to start it than with football trivia? I mean, we are doing fantasy football rankings, so might as well keep it in the football area. Next week, maybe we'll move on to soccer, maybe something else, but we'll do trivia.
I missed it. I missed talking about soccer.
I missed too. Listen,
maybe next week. Maybe
I think next week we definitely have to do some soccer stuff because it's been so long. But today we're gonna keep it with football. I am gonna ask Jay here a couple of questions. We got this pack right here, this deck. Okay, I'm gonna pick just 10 of them randomly.
Did we shuffle it? I want you to shuffle them.
Shuffle them. All right.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Sorry, guys.
I want you to cheat.
We got a picky guest. Oh, here. Look. I'll watch you. Just so everybody sees that I am shuffling in. I'm not betting these cards, but there you go. No. All right. Is that good enough, sir?
That one. Pick that one.
This one. All right. Here we go. Question number 1.
God, I hope it's a good one.
Oh, man.
Yes.
You might not know this, though. Oh. The Pittsburgh Steelers were the first NFL team to feature what?
I'll
give
Can
you
I get hints?
Yeah, I'll give you a hint. You get 2 hints per question.
Yes.
Your first hint. It technically has nothing to do with playing football.
Well, that's a fantastic hint.
I'm not gonna make it easy on you.
All right. Well, what's the second hint?
They barely exist now.
2-point conversions.
What the? How does that have almost nothing to do with football?
Oh, you're right.
You get one more guess.
All right. It has nothing to do with football.
I could just see the smoke coming out of your head now.
They're barely.
10 seconds.
Team mascot?
Ooh,
I don't think I've seen a team mascot for
so
Steelers.
Close. Cheerleaders.
Oh my God. Oh man, you're right. I've never seen a cheerleader for. You're right.
I think only the Cowboys still have him. I might be wrong, but I think the Cowboys and like maybe the Dolphins. I don't know. All right, let's grab one from the middle. The first one. Okay.
All right, so I'm 0 for 1.
0 for 1. Great. Over 67,000 high school football players in the U.S. suffer from what each year?
Over 67,000 high school footballers suffer this each year.
Yep.
67,000.
Better not be Googling this. No. Yeah, one more guess.
No, it's not cramps. No, I was gonna say a broken bone. I don't know.
Concussion.
Oh,
how dare you?
Oh my God.
So for one more time. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pick these 5 cards or whatever number this is, and you're gonna tell me what number you want, and I'll pick that one.
Perfect.
Just pick a number. I think there's 3, 6, there's 7 cards.
All right. Well, which one's gonna be number 1 and which
number 1 and number 7?
All right. Give me lucky number 7.
In the 1920s, in which city did the pros play? I'll tell you what. If you give me
the Browns, Cleveland.
Thank you. You said Cleveland, and I very clearly told you. I told you that's not the state. All right, same thing.
All right, so I got that right. So I'm 1 for 3.
1 for 3. All right, these are 5. Same order. 1, 5.
Give me lucky number 2 because number 2 is always the best defender in soccer.
You might know this. Which team has played in both the single hottest and coldest NFL games on record?
I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills.
Final answer?
No. That was just a warm-up. I'm gonna go with Patriots.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Ah.
You suck.
All right. Listen, I knew it was the Cowboys. I hate them so much. I didn't want to say their name.
Right.
So 1 for 4.
All right. 6 here. Same order. Couldn't see you. What did cornerback Darrell Green or Daryl? I think it's Darrell Green stuff in his socks, claiming they made him run faster?
Chili.
No. No. Tootsie Rolls.
Oh my God.
1 for 5. You're great.
1 for 5.
All right. These are also 6. Pick a number.
4. Because Sergio Ramos.
Oh, man. After the big win, where the most Super Bowl champions exclaimed they are going.
Disneyland, Disney World. I'm going to Disney World. Yeah. Wait, no. Yeah. Disney World.
I should have waited a little longer.
Yep, I was gonna say Disneyland.
All right, there's only 4 here.
So what am I? 2 for 5? 2 for 6? Okay, give me number 3.
You definitely don't know this. Who is the only player to have won the Super Bowl MVP award as a member of the losing team? I don't even know who this is.
Whoa.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is your 7th question.
Jim Brown.
Nope. Chuck Howley. I have no clue who that is. 2 for 7.
Yay.
All right. Only 4.
Give me number 1.
Oh, this is not fair.
Yes.
Which NFL franchise has been located in Cleveland, LA, and St. Louis?
Cleveland? They were located in Cleveland?
I guess so.
Well, the Rams.
Yep. What is that? 3 for 8?
3 for 8.
Ooh. All right. Now I'm going to randomly pick one.
The
last 2, I get to pick them randomly. Let's see if you can go 5 for 10.
Such a cheater. He's such a cheater.
What college did Peyton Manning attend?
USC.
Nope.
Hold on. I was gonna say Georgia, but it's not Georgia. I know
it's definitely not Georgia.
Oh, perfect. All right, you just crossed that out the list. All right. University of. I know. I'm gonna be so mad. Because the second you say it, I'm gonna be like, of course.
I'll give you a hint.
Yes, please.
Its symbol is a letter. Like literally a letter. One
Nevada.
Letter. Wow, you suck. Tennessee.
3
for 9.
Well, that's not gonna make me go 500.
All right.
Last one. This one wins it all. Oh, see, he wasn't supposed to do that. He already picked one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's cheating. Why are you looking? You're such a cheater.
All right, fine.
You're such a cheater.
Watch me get the same question I originally.
I want you to pick the bottom one. The bottom one. Right, that's it. Stop shuffling.
No. I was gonna say I'll start shuffling. You tell me when to stop, and whatever's at the bottom is at the bottom.
Stop. The bottom one.
This one?
Yes.
I think you can get this. How many points would you earn? You only get one guess though, and I'm gonna time you. You get 30 seconds. No, 20 seconds, because this is too easy. I'm gonna give you 20 seconds when I ask the question.
You just said 30 seconds.
25. How many points would you earn from scoring 3 touchdowns, missing 2 extra points, and making 3 field goals plus a safety? And time goes now. Oh, you got an extra 2 seconds on that.
23 points.
How many?
23.
Nope. You still got 15 seconds to answer.
3 touchdowns. That's 14, that's 21. Missed 2, that's 19. 3 field goals. 22, 25, 27, 29.
It was still wrong. 30. The answer is 30. So you, in fact, my friend, do not win. You went 3 for 10. But hey, it was a good effort.
Listen, I meant to do that because my number 3 was Ja'Marr Chase. So
sure. That makes sense. That makes total sense.
It does.
Listen, a little quick preview of what we're gonna do from now on in the EOE. Stay tuned because these games will be fun. And we would love to see if you guys get involved in the comment section. Maybe see if you answered them faster than Jay here, which wouldn't be too hard. There's still smoke coming out of his head. But yeah, that's all on my behalf. I don't know if you got anything else to say on the EOE.
No, honestly, that's what I got. I can't wait for next week. Start studying up on those 30 to 16 running backs. So can't wait.
There's only one thing I want to mention. Our first ever 2 Bros 1 Pod Fantasy Football League has officially been filled.
Yeah.
Okay. But we are still getting some requests, people that want to join, and we understand that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to be nice about this. The first 10 people that came to us and asked to be in the league and did all the steps, followed us on social media, subscribed on YouTube, they're in. Now, we're going to make a second league. From today, the moment this episode drops, the moment you watch it, you're going to have 1 month. August 19th is the cutoff date. You have that entire month to follow us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and send us either a DM on any social platform or an email. You do that, we will automatically enroll you in what we are going to call a raffle. If we get 12 people, 20 people, 30 people, however many people we get, we'll put all those names in. We'll do a live video of who we're putting into league.
Yeah.
We'll post it for you guys. The 10 names that are chosen randomly, they're in. The rest of you, I'm very sorry. You'll probably be in there next year. Okay. But again, you have until August 19th to enter. The way you enter is follow us on social media, subscribe on YouTube, send us a DM, and we're good to go. All right. So again, if you're still interested, do the thing. We're very active on social media. We'll talk to you.
Let's see if you guys can beat us in fantasy football.
The
competitive side.
I gotta say it's gonna be hard. But I'm always up for a challenge. Let's see what you guys got.
Yeah.
All right. The first 10 people are already talking spicy. They're already saying they got the league. So let's see if you guys have that same energy. But yeah, that's all on our behalf. Hope you guys enjoyed our top 30 wide receivers, and see you guys next week for the start of the top 30 running backs.
Yes, sir.
All that being said, have a good day.
Peace out. Rub the Buddha.
Rub it for good luck, baby.